Check out this episode of the Patch Notes from the Pre-Patch Podcast.
So Lords of the Fallen, talk to us about it.
Lords of the Fallen. It's another Souls-like. Surprise, surprise! I'm playing another Souls-like. It came out just a few weeks after. I know, right? Who would have guessed?
You hate Souls likes.
My least favorite genre, but I'm trying to branch out.
I mean, look, Bill, I am the Souls like guy for this podcast. You need to get in your own lane, bro. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Stick to your Rockstar games, and I'll stick to my.
But Lords of the Fallen, it came out a few weeks after Lies of P did. It is not made by the same people who did the original Lords of the Fallen, but it is the same franchise.
Not know that.
Yeah, it's made by the same people who did the Surge, I believe. This one.
It is. Yes.
Oh.
Are you fighting with buckets on your hands?
Yeah, I decided I'm gonna do a broken bucket build for this, like, just to do a challenge run through this game.
This Lord has fallen. This Lord is not doing well.
He's been demoted from Shovel Knight to Broken Bucket Knight.
Broken Bucket Knight.
But yeah, for this run in particular, I just planned on doing a broken bucket build just for the lulls of it. But the game itself, I've played it this run solo. I've played a decent amount of it in co-op. I'm probably about halfway through the game on one of my co-op campaigns, and it's fun. It is a good time. It couldn't have probably released at a worse time outside of releasing near the Elden Ring DLC, because Lies of P did beat it to the punch, and I do feel like Lies of P is a better quality game.
That's what I've
saying
heard,
this one's bad.
Yeah.
But Lies of P is just a significantly better quality of a game compared to this. This one is fun.
That's what I had heard as well. Was that Lies of P? It feels like it's the more complete game when it comes to like the way that the gameplay feels, at least.
Yeah.
So
this one feels like baby's first Souls-like, and that might not necessarily, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. From what I have experienced with it so far, it is fairly on the easy side. You get a lot of experience very quickly. It seems like with the 2-death system, it has a 2-death system similar to Sekiro, where if you die, you go into like the death plane of Umbral, and then you can get to one of these statues, and it'll kind of bring you back. And with some of the level design, you have to take yourself into Umbral to begin with to kind of traverse things. So there's some really interesting concepts with this game. But as far as difficulty
it's kind of
goes,
interesting. Sorry, it's kind of interesting that you're saying that it's baby's first, quote unquote, baby's first, Dark Souls or whatever you want to call it, Souls like, considering like the Surge was known to be pretty decently brutally hard for some people.
I think a lot of the part with the Surge though is it's like their mechanics were not exactly the best, and they were kind of
the Surge had jank that made it difficult, unfortunately. And again, kind of similar to Lies of P, where it had mostly robotic enemies, and making a robotic enemy look authentic to a robot, they tend to make them have very like jerky and like they hitch and then it goes through, that kind of thing, which if done incorrectly can be super anti-fun.
Is this cell shaded? Like
this?
What is this, an anime? What
is it? 20 FPS? That was my question.
Looks really dated.
Just the blood. Just the blood
That's
is.
interesting.
This honestly looks like a cinematic you get out of Medieval from the
Right?
PlayStation 1, man.
This cinematic threw me through a fucking loop, because from what I've seen of the cinematics in this game, the blood here is the only thing that has like, even she coming out of the blood doesn't have the same frame rate as the blood itself.
That is weird, dude.
It is the weirdest design thing. It kind of reminded me of, like, you know how a lot of the cartoon movies like Puss in Boots and the Spider-Verse movies will purposefully drop the frame rate for effect. It seemed like they did it there, but I don't know why.
Did it in a bad way.
Is it only there, or does it do it in other? Like,
it's only that blood. It is only that blood that I've seen so far.
That's weird.
Watching it as an oversight.
Yeah, that's a huge oversight in my opinion.
What's weird is that watching it, I was like, it's
I know.
kind of cool. Like I like there's something about it, I'm like, I kind of like this,
Well,
but like
it took me a minute to be like, am I actually seeing this? Or is this just like did they go down the PlayStation 1 remake
That's what I'm
route?
saying, man.
Nah,
That's weird, man.
it was a weird, and that's
Yeah.
not the only weird thing. There is a little bit of jank with this. Whenever released, the co-op was like dog trash. It was really bad. They did fix it very quickly, so that was good.
That's good.
The co-op now, from my experience, I've had very few issues. There's been a few times where we just can't summon each other in, and we just do a soft reset. Fixes it, so no issues there. Outside of that, a lot of people, and I don't want to throw this out there lightly because it's an easy target because I like Dark Souls 2, are comparing it to Dark Souls 2 as far as Souls likes go. In the fact that it's very mob heavy, the game throws a ton of enemies at you, where you don't really get a chance to like relax and explore, especially in Umbral. One of the mechanics of being in Umbral is actually random like trash zombies just like spawn periodically. So
what is what is umbral? You've said that like 2 or 3 different times. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means.
so this have you ever played Soul Reaver?
Yes.
So it's like Soul Reaver, where there's 2 different world states. There's Axiom, which is your alive world state, and then there's Umbral,
So it's got like
which
a
is
shadow realm of some sort.
it's like your shadow realm. You can pull yourself into Umbral, or if you die, you automatically get drug into Umbral. And there's a few other ways to get into Umbral as well. And it opens up new platforms. There's new items there. There's a whole slew of different enemies in Umbral. The level design is honestly the best part of this game. Exploring those levels. You have this lantern that you can hold up, and it lets you peek into Umbral to see if there's like platforms and stuff around before you like commit into it, which is kind of cool.
Buckets, bucket hands.
But it's a really well done world system, really well done level design system, and that is the strength of this game.
That's what I was gonna ask, because I was wondering if how they did it, like how, because I knew that they had that system, but I didn't know how well they used it to their ability. Because a lot of places will just be like, oh, you die, you go here, you come back, and you use it occasionally where you'll go into that world, get a weapon, come back out. It's nice to hear that they're actually utilizing it for like platforming.
No, you actually have to interact with this secondary world state to progress through the levels. There are secrets that can only be found in the secondary world state. There's bosses that can only be fought in Umbral. It's really nifty. It's really well done. Some people are complaining that they don't like the infinitely spawning ads in Umbral. It does give you that kind of like urgency to get out, along with the fact that you can only stay in there for so long before the game penalizes you. So while you're in Umbral, you get a XP multiplier. Okay, so you actually gain more XP while you're in the dead world, and that multiplier goes up. It goes from 1.1 times XP to 1.5 times XP at the max. But once it maxes out, you lose the ability to heal, and it spawns an elite Reaper enemy that will one-shot you if it hits you. You can kill it.
Oh, wow.
And if you do kill it, you get your ability to heal back. But it kind of puts you on a timer where you need to do what you're doing in there and get out. And there are items that will extend the time that you can be in there and stuff like that.
Makes sense if they boost the experience and everything like that. They don't want people getting overpowered too quickly. But like that also kind of like rewards you if you're good enough to take out that Reaper without getting hit as well at the same time.
And he drops a ton of XP. He's worth fighting if you are at a strength level. And by end game, I'm sure you'll be at a level where you can stay in Umbral for as long as you want if you want to. So
it's a cool concept. I like it.
It is a cool concept. I like it a lot.
Why is the game getting? Because I've looked at the reviews and it's like mixed reviews. It's not getting review bombed, right? Like it just seems kind of like. Is it? You think it's just because of Liza P? Like just because that kind of came out?
I think Liza P had something to do with it. I think Liza P is just a much more polished product. The only thing I can say about this game is it's not bad. It's not amazing. It passes. It passes the Souls-like check, and it is probably a higher quality than a lot of Souls-likes that came out. It's probably a higher quality than Mortal Shell. It's definitely better than what the Surges were, in my opinion. Um, I would say it's probably around Neo quality,
Wow.
roughly.
I'm looking at Metacritic. It's getting a Metascore of 75, which
It's
is
not terrible.
not bad.
It's not
No,
terrible.
it's
But
it's okay.
at the same time, Mortal Shell got a 76, which I think Mortal Shell was.
It's all
I liked Mortal
subjective.
Shell. I'm like one of the 5 people that actually enjoyed that game, and I did a level 1 run of Mortal Shell because I like that game. I saw no issues with it, but I understand where people didn't. The reason people aren't liking this, lack of polish in some areas. The combat's weird, so it has a parry system similar to Liza P, but it's a lot more forgiving. It has a health regain system similar to Bloodborne and Liza P, where if you block an attack or you parry an attack, your health goes gray, and then you can earn it back by attacking an enemy. I think that's a cool concept, and I think it's actually done better in this than what Liza P did it, because that gray health doesn't disappear at all. With Liza P, if you don't attack or don't parry within a certain amount of time, that gray health drains down. Same thing with Bloodborne, that gray health drains down, and you lose it effectively. This game, that gray health stays there forever as long as you do not get hit. As soon as you get hit, that health disappears. So I like that concept better.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are giving it low ratings just because they don't like the excess enemy spawns, and they're saying that like end game, it feels really, really sluggish and really, really grindy.
Yeah, it's a very mob heavy game. Like they throw a ton of enemies at you, which
Yeah,
a lot of
Almost like
people don't like.
hack and slash type vibes, but maybe not as much.
It's borderline hack and slash
Yeah.
at times, honestly.
Well,
And I think the combat
original,
is
the original Lords of the Fallen was a hack and slash, wasn't it?
it was a Souls like
thought-
too.
I thought it was more of a hack and slash than a Souls
you know what?
like.
It was a weird one. It was the first Soul like
Yeah,
first
it was
quote
like a
unquote
weird
Souls like.
back
So
and forth. Yeah. So
this is definitely an improvement over that. The combat is fast. It's like Bloodborne level fast. You dodge really far. Your attacks have a lot of forward momentum to them, which is more akin to a hack and slash. There's just a lot of like momentum that I don't think a lot of people are vibing with. There's not a lot of intent behind your attacks. A lot of people with Souls likes, they want purpose behind their attacks. If I'm going to attack here, it's going to put me in an animation, and if I whiff it, I'm at a detriment. This, you can pretty well animation cancel out of any attack or any movement that you do with a dodge roll or a block. So
You're playing on PlayStation?
yeah, I'm playing on PlayStation. I know the PC port was botched. As always, anything Unreal Engine is just terrible on PC, and I thought Unreal Engine 5 was going to fix it.
It's too bad.
That was wishful thinking.
Nah, bro.
But
Yeah.
Nope.
$60 on PlayStation as well, or is it a $70 on PlayStation?
well, I think it's 60 all the way around.
Because it's 60 on Steam. I just checked that.
You know, what's funny
I
is
would
that
assume it's 60.
life process of these games.
Nope, it's $70 on PlayStation.
Oh man.
Okay.
Thanks, Sony.
All right. So what I love
Oh,
about this
God.
is that the life cycle of this is develop on PC, put it on console,
Yep.
shit port. Like, wait,
Fuck
hold on
over
a sec.
PC.
Hold
Yeah.
on a sec.
That's
You
so
started on a
backwards.
PC. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, but let's be real. Like that's most games these days. Like all
Yeah,
games
but
are developed
still.
on a PC, ported, sent over to the consoles, and then the port
It's
for
still
PC gets just completely
mind-boggling how
thrashed.
that's so backwards.
It
I'm
is
inviting-
rough. It is stupid.
It
It should
is.
not be that way.
I am inviting.
And honestly, that's go ahead.
I would say I'm inviting a developer, whether they're indie or larger, that has developed for PC and put their game out on, or what, developed their game, has put it out on console, and as well as also put it on PC. I want to know what the porting process is. It really that fucking difficult? Is it really that hard to port over a game to PC or develop for both? I'm inviting, whether you put in the comments down below or you want to come on the show. I'm opening the invitation up. I want to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
There
I
it
want to
is.
know.
I don't
why.
know. Because 9 times out of 10 PC, like that's the main reason. My PS5 has gotten more use this year than any other year because
Well, the thing
PC ports have
that
been the worst that they've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the thing is like it didn't used to be that way. Like PC ports back in the day
No,
were
it's
not
PC
that
Master
bad.
Race.
Most of the
Like-
time, most of the time PC ports it was console ports that were completely thrashed.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like
It just flipped.
Start
one
of
day.
PlayStation 3 era, you
Yeah.
know, like start of Xbox 360
Yeah.
era, the like PC ports just started going.
Was
This,
this
going
that
this on
Umbral?
screen
Is
right
that-
now is kind of one of those things that I was talking to you
Umbrals,
about,
yeah.
though, where you can hold the lamp up and it
That's pretty
directly
dope,
affects the
man.
world in front.
That was
So
that was
it'll
one of the
open up
things that I
holes.
liked about
That's
that was
cool.
one of the things I liked about Raziel and those things, like being able to go into like the spirit realm to be like to do different puzzles and such. That I always enjoyed that quite a bit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
pretty sweet. Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool. So-
Lords of the Fallen. If you like Souls likes, I would recommend it. It's not bad. It's not bad by any
said-
means. It's
But
You
this
said
go
it's
in
an
with
easier-
tempered Yeah, it's easier if you like more hack and slashy type
I might try
gameplay. It's worth playing. I think
Is
it's
it-
a lot
is
of
it
fun.
on
I'm
any,
paying 70, 60
I
bucks.
was gonna
for
say,
I'll
is it on
definitely
anything
wait
else?
till-
Is it like on Game Pass or anything like that, or
wait
is
until
it?
it goes on sale.
or
I
do
don't
you
think it's on
just-
Game Pass.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So maybe
Make sure you don't get
maybe-
the first Lords of the Fallen either, because they named it the
Yeah.
same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lords of the
I
Fallen.
actually I played the first Lord of the Fallen.
You
I
might
quite
like the
enjoyed
first
Lords
Lord
of the Fallen.
Fallens more though. I don't know.
I did too. I didn't think it was that bad. It was clunky,
Yeah.
but I didn't mind it. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the patch notes. And if you want to see more of the pre-patch podcast content, don't forget to check us out live every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Or you can check us out at anchor.fm/prepatch podcasts or on any site that podcasts are listened to. Much love.